Hey guys, welcome to this inaugural, this numero uno, primero, this Ichi episode of Let's Ferment Anything with Jared. And on this episode, we're going to be fermenting a couple of things. One, orange juice. How do you think it's going to turn out? Doesn't sound that bad. But secondly, we're going to be fermenting, and I tried to ferment Sprite. So make sure you stay to the end and see how this fermentation party ends. Let's do it. So here we are, as I said in the first episode, and before we get going, as I mentioned, we've got orange juice that I'm going to be fermenting, and we've got Sprite, and both of those I have not opened. I don't even know how it's going to turn out. We're going to do it here, but make sure you stay to the end. But before you do that, subscribe to this channel. There's a little dude, a little caricature. Click on it, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so every time these come up or the mental minutes, anything, that you'll be notified. So make sure you subscribe right now. Is it somewhere? Somewhere over here. Anyway, so today, as I mentioned, we've got orange juice and we've got Sprite. Orange juice, the idea of fermenting orange juice, it's really not that bad. I could probably see it, although I haven't ever tried it before. This is going to be the first time. It sounds plausible. But Sprite, I just wanted to try something and see what happens to show everybody that it can or that it can't. And the idea is that hopefully that you'll get some ideas that you could ferment at home. The first one that I fermented is orange juice. This is about 2 cups of fresh squeezed orange juice. And then I added a 1/4 cup of whey. W-H-E-Y. Now I used whey in this is because I didn't want to use kefir grains, I didn't want to use kombucha, I didn't want to contaminate it in any way. Whey is pretty easy and you could find it, but essentially I used it from this whole milk yogurt. I strained it off and collected the whey and used it for these fermentations. So about a 1/4 cup, we had about 2 cups of oranges, about a 1/4 cup of whey, added a 1/2 cup of water, and then a couple of dashes of salt. Let it sit. It's been actually sitting for about a week. You probably don't need to let it go that long, but I just wanted to see actually how it turns out. You can see, I don't know, a little bit maybe. There's the camera. But we're gonna try it out now. And I've got a glass. After we fermented this, let it sit for a while, I think it's gonna taste all right. All right, so here we go. Oh, did you hear that? Okay, still smells like orange juice. Kind of crazy. All right, so here's a cup. Let's see what happens. It's fizzy. Can you see that? Certainly it's fizzy. I actually just swirled it like a glass of wine. Nerd. Okay. Now, it smells okay. It tastes actually all right. I don't know if you guys have ever had like those oranginas. It's like a fizzy, watered down version of orange juice, but essentially that's what this tastes like. And hopefully you can see it. I don't know if you can or not, but you can see the bubbles in there. Again, that's from the fermentation. So the way it consumes the sugars, releases a little bit of carbon dioxide, and you get the fuzzy things on the top. Anyway, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I would probably drink that. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up on the fermented orange juice. That's definite thumbs up. It actually wasn't that bad. I'd never tried it before, but it's kind of just a refreshing, lightly carbonated orange drink. Actually, that's what it tastes like. So we're gonna give it a thumbs up. And now we're gonna do Sprite, see how that turns out. Before we do that though, do me a favor, comment below and let me know if you guys have ever fermented anything before. Or if you do ferment, let me know your favorite way to do it. Do you like to use whey? Do you use strictly brine? Do you use kombucha, kefir? But comment below and let me know. I'm always curious. But let's get on to this Sprite thing. I know you're pretty curious about that, right? And I am too, actually. What I did is I applied the same concept of the Sprite as I did to the orange juice. So I took about 2 cups of Sprite, which the reason that I chose Sprite, I think I mentioned this to you, is because there's no phosphoric acid. Now, of course, there's water, high fructose corn syrup, yuck! But it's regular Sprite. So I took 2 cups of Sprite. I added 1/2 cup water, about a 1/4 cup of whey is what I added. And pinch of salt, and then it's been sitting in there for 7 days, just like the orange juice. I don't know how it's going to turn out. You can kind of see that there's like little floaty things here on the bottom. It's puffed out, so I can see that it is fermented. So I don't know what's going to happen. This may explode. I have no idea. But I'm going to try it. First of all, I'm going to smell it, and then we're going to try it. All right? So here we go. Did you hear that? Well, that was tough. I didn't want it to explode. Anyway, so we've got some bubbles here coming up to the top. I also let it go flat before I put it in there. So it wasn't carbonated when it sat out probably 4 or 5 days to get it completely flat. You can kind of see that the bubbles are there. It doesn't smell. It just smells like Sprite. You can see it actually recarbonated itself, maybe. All right, here we go. Fermenting Sprite. I mean, again, it's not good. I'm not going to say that. It is not good. It just has the weirdest taste. It tastes like old socks sitting in water, old carbonated water. It's like it has a weird smell. The smell's not great. Of course, you can ferment it, because what happens is the whey just consumed the sugars and made a little bit of, bubbles, etc. And I'm going to definitely give this a thumbs down. However, I will say that it is possible to ferment Sprite. You heard it. It made a sound. It popped. And I'll go ahead and finish this just for the record, just to show you guys that I certainly... Oh, that's terrible. All right. So that's it. That's the episode today. We're going to get a thumbs up on the fermented orange juice, which, again, it's actually not bad. It's pretty tasty. And then we're for sure going to give a thumbs down on the Sprite. Now, again, I don't even know why you would want to ever ferment Sprite. There's really no reason for that. So we fermented both of those just to show you what you can do. So now we're done. Going forward, we're going to be fermenting a lot of things. So make sure you come back often. If you enjoyed it, if you learned anything, if you thought this was great, like it, or even dislike it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. I always love those as well. I get some pretty crazy things on there. But as I said, I've probably got about 14 things that are fermenting in there now, and I think you guys are going to be pretty surprised about some of the things that I'm going to be trying to ferment. Subscribe, make sure you subscribe, hit that little caricature and the bell for future subscriptions. Make sure you get notified of all. And lastly, find me on social media. I'm all over the place. Jared's ProPops at Facebook. You can find me Jared's Probiotics or Jared Toy on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, Jared's Probiotic. I give out a lot of information, talk about better gut health, and I'm always interested in that. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode, got a little bit of curiousness out of the way. Thumbs up on the orange juice. Definite thumbs down on the fermented Sprite. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you come back often. Have a wonderful day, and let your gut get you good and gut healthy. Cool? Peace.